Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. It is no secret that server issues have been worse than ever. Kabam has kind of indirectly talked about it and added in maybe a line or two at the end of some forum post regarding an acknowledgement that it's not ideal. But this week we got kind of our biggest and most direct response publicly of their acknowledgement of the issue. And of course, these are issues that cost them money and ultimately some credibility. So it's not something that they should want either for the game. Addressing latency one step at a time. Greetings, Summoners. Over the past months, our team has been working to investigate and remedy the latency issues that have been present in the contest. And we want to announce that last night, we pushed out some potential fixes that we hope address some of those server latency issues. I had a horrible server experience this week just getting the ISO selectors of Paragon Daily Specials to appear. Server latency issues were most prevalent last month when 7-Star Champion and Paragon crystals were released, with extended delays when opening multiple crystals for most summoners and even some disconnecting, although the disconnecting was either a good thing or a bad thing. For me, it disconnected and it was just a neutral thing because the crystals just didn't open. I had to go one at a time. Some of you open crystals, the crystals refreshed, but you still kept the champions from the crystals that were open, which was like, talk about striking it rich. The only time that happened to me was once I was popping, I want to say like 106 stones into Omega Red, and the game crashed. When I came back, Omega Red had the SIGs, but the 6 stones were still there. And this was generic 6-star SIGs that like were so expensive back then. So the Kabam gods were looking down on me that day, that's for sure. Or maybe they were looking up. Think about it. While it may be difficult to see an improvement in loading times when opening crystals, we ask that if you notice a difference in the time it takes to open multiple crystals, please let us know. We will be monitoring on our end, but first-hand experience from players will be beneficial in knowing if our fix impacts the issue. This is not just one issue, but many issues under one umbrella, each with different causes but similar outcomes and symptoms on the player's side. Resolving latency issues in general will be a multi-step process, and it will take some time and multiple fixes before we can resolve these issues altogether. Please be aware that there may be days when many summoners are opening crystals, such as the new champion release days like the Andy Moonstar on June 15th, which is, of course, today, where we expect more latency than others. Still, we are working to resolve this umbrella issue as soon as possible, and latency in other games of the area latency in other areas of the game. I swapped those two words. Please note, while we continue to work to address issues in other areas, the game's server latency does not affect most areas of gameplay, and all game issues should be reported as bugs individually. Very cool, thank you. I just want the game to stop telling me it's my connection's fault. Yeah, that's a norm. Really hope that opening bug is fixed. Open 10 and game dropped unknown error. Lost 10 crystals for that. Oh, and Kabam people. With arena cheaters unbanned today, your team will look for future arena cheaters. Well, there's a lot of different questions in this thread. Some address the issue, some don't. What about this? I can't join my beta testing. It shows every time disconnected from beta testing. Now that you might need to check your settings for the Game Center. In the past, you had to disconnect the Game Center to go into the beta, although I think I'm connected to the Game Center right now, and I was allowed in the beta. So they might have fixed that on iPhones. Google Play, though, I can't speak to it. Fix the AI latency issues in opening crystals is not even secondary at this stage. So this is the belief that the AI is being ignored as an evolution, but the server latency is being brought up to the forefront. What about the in-fight? Issues with freezing and hiccups, opening crystals, hopefully not losing any is cool and all, but yeah. We're finally got some discussion regarding the server issues, and people want to talk about AI and so much else. It's sort of like a parent where you feel like you put out one fire, but then 10 more pop up, a few of which are just people discussing the flames themselves, as dark as that may sound. Well, I don't know. My latency has gotten better except for the things I talked about. But the AI, there's just no question. I was doing some Thronebreaker event quest tonight, and I was fighting Terax. And I got knocked out because he would not throw a special to save his life until I was against the wall, and then he randomly threw the special too. And I kept trying to back up and trying to hold block and bait, but of course it was taking so much damage in that final chapter that I just waved goodbye to my champion. Womp womp. But hey, at least we're getting an answer from Kabam Mike, even if it's not the answer we're looking for. Halfway to July 4th offers, might as well get some info.